So I'm currently trying to use ChatGPT to help me write a book. My idea, since I have no time to actually sit down and write a book, I would use ChatGPT to help me dictate and take notes, and then help me make an outline and assemble the data, and then fill in the blanks based on hours of discussion I've spent talking to the voice version of ChatGPT. For context, it's a nonfiction book on how to start a poop scooping business. I currently have a poop scooping business. We have about 150, weekly repeat clients. Just for context, I've also written a book on junk removal before, and I make an extra $100, $200 a month just off that, selling on Amazon. So I thought, writing one for poop scooping would be a good idea too. So it's been a little frustrating. I just want to discuss some of the things I've learned about it. Like I said, originally my idea was to have it take a bunch of notes about things that I thought were important. So I just walk around doing my job all day, talking back and forth with ChatGPT on, pricing structures, how to actually perform the job, what tools to use, how to talk to clients, how to get more customers, how to market, how to advertise, all those good things. And now that I'm done kind of filling one chat with information, I asked ChatGPT to, okay, please write me an outline of the things we've discussed. And it could do that okay. But once I asked it to start filling in chapters of that outline, it really struggled. It would just talk about what it's going to talk about in that chapter, and give me that rough draft, and then it would stop there and not fill in details. So for instance, if I try to get it to talk about pricing in the chapter, it'll talk about, oh, you can charge $19 a week for 2 dogs and charge $15 for deodorizer treatment, and then it'll say how it's going to talk more about that, but then it never just does. So long story short, it is not good about filling in the blanks. So I had to try a different approach. Even though it has all the information it could possibly need to fill in a chapter on pricing based on our previous conversations, it wasn't doing it. So you have to get really granular with ChatGPT in order to get it to answer a question in detail. So basically you have to tell it, I just want to discuss pricing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dogs, discuss what we talked about for one-time pricing, how to charge for deodorizer, and you got to list off every little thing you wanted to talk about, and then it will pull from the data that you talked about in that chat and actually give you a detailed answer to whatever problem or task you're trying to get it solved. But it doesn't seem to be able to cover multiple tasks or things you want to discuss in one prompt. You really have to sit there and babysit it. So in other words, in my experience so far, I can't just tell it to make an outline. I have to do like a sub outline for each outline of the chapter and sit there and ask it extreme detail for every little point I want covered. So it's not really making writing a book that much easier. It's still usable, but you really have to sit there and babysit it. So it's frustrating, but I'll let y'all know how it progresses and when I finally release the book.